Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to call the meeting to order. If we could please all rise for our national anthem. Thank you. Is there any additions to the agenda? I have two. We're going to go item 4.4, proclamation, the International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination. And item 7.10, which is the community event grant. Are there any other additions?
Thank you. Not an addition, but I'd like to suggest that we move item 7.4, which is in camera, to the end of the decision items, just so we don't have to ask everybody to leave, wait a bit, and then come back. So I will make a motion to that effect with your forbearance.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion on the floor. Council, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. So now, can we get someone to approve the agenda as amended? Councillor Long, all in favor? Thank you. Carried. Corrections or amendments, and we'll take these one at a time. 3.1, the February 18th, 2015 regular meeting of council minutes. See any, Councillor Bossert?
Thank you. On the February 18th regular meeting of council minutes at 2.3, the wording should be provided council with a report at which she attended. So a couple words are missing there. And at 2.4, Fire Chief Thompson's last name is spelled incorrectly in the second sentence.
Thank you. Any other corrections or amendments to the February 18th regular meeting of council? Can I get a motion to accept those minutes as amended? Councillor Bossert? All in favor? Carried. February 18th, 2015 public hearing minutes for bylaw 2015-02D. Any corrections or amendments? Councillor Bossert?
This is what keeps me up at night. Public hearing 2015-02D as well as 01D. Same mistake has been made.
I'll get you to bring up the 01
right.
next.
Okay, so under written submissions, it says that no comments were received from the floor. So I believe that that is the wrong statement for written submissions.
Okay. Any other amendments to those minutes? May I get a motion to accept those minutes as amended? Councillor Bossert, thank you. All in favor? Carried. And February 18th, public hearing minutes for bylaw 2015-01D. Any amendments or corrections? Councillor Bossert.
Thank you. Again, under the heading of where we are receiving written submissions, it says that no comments were received from the floor, and I believe that that is, again, an incorrect statement.
Thank you. Get a motion to accept those minutes as amended. Councillor Long, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. Next, we'll move into the proclamation. The International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination, March 21st, 2015. Whereas, as a signatory municipality of the Canadian Coalition of Municipalities Against Racism and Discrimination, the town of Drayton Valley is an important partner in achieving UNESCO's objectives, both in Canada and at the international level. And whereas the town of Drayton Valley joined CCMARD in 2006, thereby becoming publicly and politically committed to integrating the values and the 10 common commitments of the coalition in its own policies and programs. And whereas municipal authorities have a key role to play in eliminating racial discrimination, and whereas the creation of a just and peaceful world where everyone lives together in respect and diversity will be possible when we all play our part. Now therefore, I, Dean Schuler, Deputy Mayor of Drayton Valley, do hereby proclaim March 21st, 2015 as International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination in the town of Drayton Valley. Next, I'd like to move on to our delegations. We'll do item 5.1, Sergeant Malcolm Callahan from the RCMP to give us his report for February.
Well, good evening, which is a first
Welcome.
for this year. So actually I'm going to be presenting both the January and the February stats tonight. You have in front of you, I only made so many copies, so some of you may not have them for February, but I'm going to march into January 1st for January 2015. Now there's a few things that I wanted to bring up. The first one being is with regards to violation tickets. There was 33 violation tickets written for the month, which is below our normal expectations. I addressed this with the membership about being more proactive in their patrols and being on the roadways more often, visibility itself being a priority. Some of the stats of significance that I was looking at, this is in review of the sheet, Drayton Valley Municipal Statistical Comparison. Overall, we're seeing a general trend of less crime in certain areas. The sheet itself shows a 5-year comparison basis in the area of persons crime. Overall in January, there appears to be a downward trend. With regards to property crime, the one stat is of concern, deals with mischief to property. I can relay there's a couple of incidents here. One that led to charges where a subject drove through a garage door of a residence on January 28th. Another was a domestic dispute that led to mischief to property, and that subject was charged on January 19th. A good deal of the mischief files are files that remain unsolved. Incidents of vehicles getting spray painted, and also the school, I believe it was the Aurora School that was spray painted. There was some video that led to the suspicion of kids being involved, but no solid leads as to identity. Other files that remain unsolved have to do with the other side of the mischief charge itself, where people are obstructing the use or enjoyment of property. And by the time the police arrive, the suspects have left with no description. In the month of January, 17 files are unsolved due to lack of evidence to continue forward. Another area of upward trend was disturbing the peace. There was 11 incidents in January. This ranged from a consensual fight between employees at a local restaurant to patrons fighting outside a local hotel. I believe there were 6 involved in that incident. 7 of the 11 calls remain unsolved due to no witness evidence or to suspects leaving the scene and no identity to follow up with. I can also advise in the area of drug enforcement, there is some files on the go that are still open, namely with regards to the more long-term stuff with trafficking. So we're still building those cases as we go. One thing I did want to note here, and I'll do this in both of my reports, is with regards to false alarms. We responded to 25 false alarms in January. 18 of the 25 were commercial. So there's quite a large statistic of us going to businesses that are false alarms. And I'll move forward if there's any questions on a January basis at this time before we move to February.
Anyone have any questions? Randy? Oh, sorry.
Thank you, Staff Sergeant Callahoo. I just have a question. What is involved in a consensual fight? What is the definition of that?
Consensual fight usually means that 2 people go outside and they decide that they're going to duke it out. You know, it's not one person who's obviously beating another person down. You know, it's tough sometimes because you have incidents where it's clearly there's one person who's the aggressor, and sometimes people just go out and unfortunately fight in public. So, any other for January?
Seeing none, I'll let you
Okay.
carry on.
I wasn't able to get in February's electronic stats to you in time, so I do have in front of all the councillors, and I believe, Manny, you have a copy as well, February stats. This month, our stats, our violation tickets themselves went up to 50 for the month, which is more along the lines of what we're looking at. We had started to deal with actually having our members start to report back to us as to where they're going and what they're doing for patrols, which encourages them to go out more. So we're trying to be proactive with that. In that case, again, where our numbers reflect that we have 50 in line with it, or more in line with our expectations, because they are reporting back to detachment management. All right, again, with stats of significance, our assaults are down significantly from the 15 reported in January to 3 reports in February. However, looking at the overall trends, and I'm going to direct you to the back of that package, to the last sheet, where it says it says January to February 2011 to 2015. If you look at the flags, there's one that says issue, and that's with regards to disposal abuse. I dove into that. It says there's, for those 2 months, 30 cases of spousal abuse. I believe this is inclusive to scoring people versus incidents, as only 24 actual cases were located on our system. And of those files, 9 went to charge. So there's multiple persons that are involved in these files. And so, again, it's kind of a skewed reflection of how it all comes into play. So there is more people involved, but less files. So, again, a concerning trend is with mischief to property, 36 incidents. These crime types shows that 14 of the incidents were related to vehicle damage, either cars getting scratched, vehicle windows getting smashed out, and then on the other side of mischief, again, being obstruction or of enjoyment of property, related to fights at businesses or disputes about property or unsolved damage. In that month of February, we responded to 21 false alarms, and 13 of those were commercial false alarms. And any questions on February stats?
Councillor Frederickson?
For repeat false alarms, is there a charge that goes to those businesses? Like, are we recouping costs on that at all?
At this time, no. It is a significant use of our time. And so I purposely put these stats and sorted them between commercial and residential for that very purpose, is to give you an idea of what is happening there. And I know I've been working with Tom, our fire chief, on that, so I don't know if you have anything you want to add to that.
At the present time, I have contacted the lawyer, or the town lawyer. to investigate the possibility of charging for these. She's looking at legislation now, and she said by the end of this week she'll have something back. So once I get that all in place, I'll present that for council.
So, one last thing that I'd like to go over really quick is that we're nearing the end of our fiscal year with the federal government. As of March 31st, that fiscal year ends and the new one in April 1st starts. With that, we start to go through our annual performance plan and some of the things that we're looking at doing. And so I guess I'm just going to put the bug in everyone's ear with regards to priorities that the town feels are necessary moving forward. One of the things that we are looking at on our annual performance plan has to do again with targeted enforcement of our chronic offenders, increasing the number of offender management files that we're dealing with, increasing the number of curfew and condition checks on our chronic offenders, increasing our intelligence submissions for things that are long-term investigations, and increasing the number of our search warrants that we have executed within the town. Again, we are still trying to sort out what our measures are going to be with that, but and on the other side, within the detachment itself, we also have unit level quality assurance, which is something separate of the annual performance plan, but still, I guess one of the things that I see right now obviously has to do with our property crime. We are seeing some significant numbers involved. If I look at the overall stats for the year, just bear with me a moment here. Our overall stats for the year from January to December 2014, we had, for mischief to property, 431 reported events. Of the actual events, there's 344. And again, our charge clearance rate on that was 29, and cleared otherwise was 51, for a total of 80. Clearance rate is 23%, so we'd like to boost those numbers if possible. The other side of something that we were looking at was with regards to our trafficking charges. Again, drug trafficking investigations themselves tend to be more in-depth, and so there is a lot of different investigative techniques that have to take place before we can lay charges, so they do tend to expand to months and sometimes even years, depending on what it is that we're looking at. So the last thing that I just wanted to bring to your attention was with regards to, again, our false alarms. We responded this year to 312 false alarms. So, well, not one a day, but getting close to that. So sometimes 2 a day, and then one day you don't have any. So I guess, again, for your information on that. So
Thank you.
with that, I'm done. If you have any questions.
Council? Any? No? Excellent. We'll accept this for information. Appreciate you coming in and spending your evening with us. Since this is our first evening meeting, and I don't know, Manny, have we ever had evening meetings in the past? Oh, excellent. Thank you. Just what I need to know. So thank you very much. We appreciate all the information you've given us, and we will take your request for priorities forward to one of our future soon G&P meetings, and have that discussion and work with you to help develop that plan.
If there's one before April 1st, I would most certainly like to attend if possible, and then we can probably sit down and discuss it in more depth.
We'll make sure that you get on one of our meetings before April 1st.
Excellent. Thank you.
Excellent. At this time, we've started a new trend with council. Started a couple months ago, where we have public time, and right now, we're going to open up the floor to anyone from the public that would like to come and bring any concerns, issues, comments forward to council. So if there's anyone that would like to come forward. Bob, were you? Welcome. We'll make sure we get you to say your name and stuff for the public that will be
Doesn't know.
reviewing this later.
Bob Deagle with the Northern Thunder Car Club. We are just wondering if we might get some support as far as the airport surface goes out there. I did drop off a request the other day, so just wondered where we're at with that.
It's not on our current agenda because it was too late to get for this one.
Right.
But we will be bringing it forward, I would expect, for our next council meeting. So in 3 weeks' time, we'll have an official answer for you.
What date would that be?
Yeah, April 1st, and no, it won't be April Fool's joke. So,
We hope not.
Councillor Long?
But to make sure, Bob, you're not under any particularly onerous time constraints there, are
Yes,
you?
we are, yeah.
Okay,
You
so
are.
that's always an issue.
That's what-
Is April 1st going to be too?
We have to start booking features and some of the other folks that are coming, and we've got people asking what's going on, whether we're
Okay.
going to be running or not, so
Okay.
that's the reason we're a little tight, so.
Okay. Can you, give us a 30-second rundown again, exactly what it is you're asking for?
The surface from the north end apron has been, the consistency of the surface isn't there anymore after the rubber was removed. So that's causing some safety concerns for us as the organizers. We don't want to put anybody in a bad light. We don't want to have any conditions that could cause somebody a wreck. So that's basically it in a nutshell.
Okay. We will we'll bring it forward then as quickly as we can, knowing that you have that time constraint, and try to get you an answer, if possible, definitely, before the April 1st.
Great.
So,
Anything, if we can assist you in any way as far as what's needed, or go out and have a look at it with us, that's certainly open. Anything we can do to help, we'd love to help. So.
we appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yes?
Sorry, one more question, Bob. I know you were speaking to the county, or I think I read in the paper you'd spoken to the county. Any progress there? Where are they with this?
I guess we're waiting on an answer from the town, and then we'll get some commitment from them as well. Yeah, we're doing a bit of a juggle act here, so. Okay. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else would like to come forward?
Hello, everybody. My name is Scott Robertson. Some of you know me, some of you don't. I happen to be the operator for Wiley West Campground. We're planning an event this summer, not as big as Bob's. Our special event is we're 25 years old this year. So it's been 25 years that Wiley West has been running down there. So we've picked a date of May the 30th, and we'd like to invite you all to come down and make sure that members of the town are invited. So come down May the 30th, mark it on your calendar. You're welcome to come down and do some work. We'll be flipping burgers and stuff like that. So we feel this is going to be a major community event, and we're looking for your support.
Do you have a time during that day?
It's going to be from 2 o'clock till about, we're going to say 6, but it'll probably run till about 8.
Okay.
There's a number of people that are planning to camp that weekend as well to carry it on. Okay, so you're all invited. Please come.
Anyone, Councilor Nadeau?
I just had a quick question for you. Have you let our communications and marketing, and we can put it on our website as well, that you're having the event so we can get more people out there?
This is my first time.
Then I will suggest
First time here.
that Jill make contact and you guys meet, and then you can get that information up on our website so you can get more people to know about it, and we can put it on our event page on our website as well.
Okay, and who's that person?
Jill, right there.
I'll meet her right now. Thank you very much.
Councillor Bossing?
Good evening, Scott. Welcome. Just a question out of the blue. How has the construction of the new bridge impacted Wiley West? I understand there were going to be some changes. Of course, getting down to Wiley West last year was a bit of a challenge, and I'm hoping, and as I'm sure you are, that by May 30th, all access is good and clear. But how are the grounds themselves looking? How are your campsites looking? Any impact from the construction?
The easiest answer is I had hair a year ago. Try sleeping with backup alarms 24 hours a day. Anyway, the contractor has made a lot of promises, and he has promised that by the May long weekend, we will have our playground back. Currently, they used the playground through last summer to dry dirt, and they've taken that dirt and placed it, and they've placed about a yard more dirt than what they put down there, so we're a little low. They have a lot of work to do, but they've guaranteed us that the May long weekend that they would have sod down on the playground, which is to us is the number one thing. Access to the park is good right now. We have actually roughed in 25 new sites, so the park is actually increasing in size. And we've also, the county has picked up the adjacent land up near the hilltop trails, and there's future plans of maybe some campsites going in there as well. So we're very busy. As I say, the construction will be nice when it's finished. Hopefully this year they'll be out of there. So are we.
Anyone else?
Thank you
Thank you very much. Anyone else would like to approach council? Then we will move on to our decision items. Item 7.1, the Funding Agreement Family Wellness Program. Councillor Bossert.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. It's always kind of interesting how to address the new chair, a different chair. The Town of Drayton Valley, Brazeau County, and Wild Rose School Division have partnered to deliver the Family Wellness Program in the Drayton Valley schools. Attached for Council's consideration is an agreement to fund the program from September 1st, 2014 to August 31st, 2015. Therefore, I move that Council approve the attached funding agreement between the Town of Drayton Valley, Brazeau County, and Wild Rose School Division for the Family Wellness Program.
Any comments, questions? Councillor Frederickson?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm just wondering, just for information's sake, how are town and county contributions determined? How is it determined what pays what?
Who from administration would like to tackle that question? Mr. Nadeau?
Okay. My name's attached to it, so I'll try best to explain. This actually is an extension of an ongoing contract, so the three partners would have met, and the contribution is determined based on the program cost, and each municipality shares part of that cost with the Wild Rose School Division. I think it's 50-50, and then of the 50%, the two municipalities split that cost. Am I correct, Deb?
Councillor Bossert?
I believe at one time the funding model was based on population of students in the school system. This is a very old contract. We've been working with this partnership for some time now. So the numbers, our contribution has stayed fairly steady for many years, but I think one of the initial factors in that amount of contribution was formulated through school population. I also have
Carry on.
a question. I'm wondering, Nesson, if the contract was to be executed for September 14th, September 1st, 2014, why is it only coming now for our signatures 6 months later? It seems to me that although this is ongoing, it's actually 6 months late in coming for signature.
I think there was an omission on the part of the school division in sending the contract. We had inquired about the contract when we received an invoice for the town's contribution, because we had never seen a contract, and then the school then forwarded that contract to us on request.
Councillor Bassett?
And one more question. In the contract, it mentions that the funding partners would meet bi-monthly to review the contract. Now, I'm not sure whether that's our financial department or members of council, but the Family Wellness Committee has been disbanded and we do not meet any longer. So I'm wondering who will be doing these bi-monthly meetings.
At this moment in time, we're in discussion with the treasurer at the Waldorf School Division to clarify details about this, and also the funding formula.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, we have a motion on the floor to accept the funding agreement. All in favor? Carried. Move on to item 7.2, policies for Early Childhood Development Center. Councillor Frederickson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Each year, the Child Care Operational Board presents to Council for approval any new or revised policies for the Early Childhood Development Center and its Family Day Home Agency. The following policies are either new to the Center and Family Day Home Agency or have seen significant revisions and are being presented to Council for approval. Policy 1 is Early Childhood Development Center PET policy, followed by Early Childhood Development Center fees for service, Early Childhood Development Center social media policy, Family Day Home Agency enrollment policy, Family Day Home Agency PET policy, Family Day Home Agency social media policy. Attached is the full listing of all policies for the Early Childhood Development Center and Family Day Home Agency. Therefore, I move that Town Council approve the new and revised policies for the Early Childhood Development Center and Family Day Home Agency as presented.
Do we have any questions or comments? Seeing none, we have a motion on the floor. All in favor? And that is carried. Move on to 7.3, the 2015-17 Recreation and Cultural Cost Sharing Agreement. Councillor Nadeau.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. The Town of Drayton Valley and Brazeau County Administration have been working together throughout 2014 on the revising of the Recreation and Culture Cost Sharing Agreement, which ended December 31st, 2014. Both municipalities recognize that the joint support for regional recreation and cultural services will benefit residents for the entire region. This agreement sets the cost-sharing ratio to 50-50 for a term beginning January 1st, 2015 and ending December 31st, 2017 for all regional recreation and cultural facilities. The intermunicipal cooperation agreement signed by the Town of Drayton Valley and Brazeau County forms part of the agreement. This recreation and culture cost-sharing agreement was reviewed at a joint council meeting of March 5th, 2015, with administration recommending that the agreement be presented to the respective councils for approval. Therefore, I make the motion that Town Council approve the recreation and culture cost-sharing agreement as presented.
Thank you. Any questions, comments? We'll start with Councillor Bossert.
Thank
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Sometimes there's conversation in the community about what facilities that, recreation facilities that the town and the county support for one another. So I'd actually just like to read the list of facilities that our communities use. First being the Omniplex, including the curling rink and the fitness center, Park Valley Pool, the 4S Skateboard Park, the Splash Park, the Mackenzie Conference Center, the Brazo Sports Park, and Drayton Valley A-class sports fields, including soccer pitches and ball diamonds, and the tennis courts at Rotary Park and by the hospital. So this is a list of different facilities in our community where we have usership from town and county, and we're doing a cost share agreement on those facilities.
Thank you. Councillor Frederickson?
Thank you. Just to expand on that, Annette, if you're able to comment, is this a normal split for cost sharing? That's one. What services are we getting, or what is this? Is it operation or capital that this agreement covers? As well as the third question being, do we cost share with the county on recreation facilities that are actually on their property?
Thank you. Yes, I can provide information on all of those. As far as the comments with respect to the resolution, most importantly, we're recognizing these as regional facilities. And that's why we list them as regional facilities. And because when it comes to the people that are served by these facilities, we don't recognize any lines in the sand. So it's, we want to make sure that people understand that these are facilities that everybody within our region and visitors get to enjoy. With respect to the distribution of the cost in terms of the 50-50 share, it is it's equal, but it's equitable, if that makes sense. Because we recognize that when we take a look at our youth activities within our facilities, when we take a look at the distribution of the youth between whether it's Brazo County or whether it's the town of Drayton Valley, we are sitting so close to 50-50. So that's the basis for this recreation cost sharing agreement, is that it recognizes where our youth population is coming from and who is using the facilities. So is that normal? It's certainly something that we've been striving for within our municipalities collectively. Other municipalities will have different agreements. So again, it is really unique to the different municipalities. So certainly for our situation, I think that both of our municipalities and certainly joint administrations recognize that this is something that recognizes the sort of the use within the region. This recreation cost sharing agreement is for operating expenditures. With respect to capital, if we have or if the county has a capital project that they wish to pursue, each municipality must approach the other for capital contributions. So this is recognizing operating expenditures on a cost sharing in terms of the investment at the end of the year. And yes, it does recognize county facilities that we recognize as regional facilities. And again, it's based on the ownership has to be within the municipalities. So I know that we might talk about some other facilities, but if those facilities are not owned by the municipality, whether it's the county or whether it's the town, it's not recognized in this agreement. So likewise, a lot of these facilities happen to be located within the town of Drayton Valley, happen to be managed by the town of Drayton Valley, and there, of course, funding is coming to the town of Drayton Valley for the services that are provided to Brazo County residents. Likewise, the town of Drayton Valley contributes to the Brazo Sports Park, which is located within Brazo County boundaries, which we know town residents use and participate in.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Okay, we have a motion on the floor to accept the agreement as presented. All in favor? And carried. Thank you. Move on to item 7.5, letter of support for the Outdoor Rink Committee. Councillor Wheeler.
Thank you. The Outdoor Rink Committee was formed with the goal of constructing a regulation-sized outdoor rink on the property known as the old HW Pickup School Grounds. The Outdoor Rink Committee is currently working on achieving its fundraising goal, which includes preparing grant applications for submission to various government and non-government sources. All proposed grant applications will be reviewed by town administration prior to submission. That may require, a requirement of several applications is a letter of support from the local municipality, and town council is being requested to provide a letter for this purpose. Therefore, I move that town council provide a letter of support for the Outdoor Rink Committee to use in grant applications.
Thank you. Any comments, questions? Councillor Nadeau.
Well, you know I'm going to talk about the outdoor rink. But I just want to say this group has been very active and dedicated, and they really look at where they're going, and they're very pleased with the overall park design as well. They're just really encouraged for what's going on in the community, and it's of note that I believe 75% of them are county residents that are leading this charge as well. So it's an interesting fact. So it's just what we can do. We've already allotted our portion of it within our town budget, and it's just in recognition of that support so they can pursue getting other funds to complete the project.
Excellent. Yeah, I really commend the efforts of this group. They've done a fabulous job in keeping the momentum going and moving things forward, and I look forward to seeing that rink completed in hopefully not too distant future here. So we have a motion on the floor. All in favor? And carried. Move on to item 7.6, adoption of the Highland Park Area Structure Plan. Presented for first reading of bylaw 2015-03D. Councillor Bossert.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Seems like I get the mic quite a bit today. I'll ask for the council's patience as I've left my glasses at home. This is a lengthy backgrounder, so I will try my best to squint and read. For several months, administration has been working with the representatives of the owners of the parcel legally described as Lot 4, Plan 852, 1283, to develop an area structure plan for the future development of residential lands. The developer's representative has worked with the town to create a plan which conforms to the requirements of the municipal development plan and the town's vision for future land use patterns. The attached Highland Park Structure Plan, dated January 2015, represents the developer's plan for the development of 23 acres of residential land use. The developer is requesting a variance on the north lots, which are intended for adult villa duplexes, as the proposed lot depth is less than the required 35 meters as set out in the land use bylaw. The proposed depths of these lots range from 27.43 meters to 32.92 meters. Any proposed buildings on these lots will be required to meet the setback requirements set out in the zoning district. The developers have confidence that the setbacks will not be affected by the decreased lot depth. The original plan was to have these lots zoned as R1N, low density, narrow lot district. However, the duplexes are a discretionary use in this zoning district. Administration is recommending the zoning to be R2, general residential district. Although the original lot sizes were suitable for R1N zoning, the developer has elected to keep the intended size of these lots, or for these lots. Laneways are a requirement within the R2 zoning. However, as the developer is proposing front attached garages with a smaller lot depth, administration and engineering were satisfied that laneways were not, with laneways not being created within the specific subdivision area. Accordingly, a section has been included within the attached ASP to permit the variance of both the lot depths and the requirement for a laneway. This ASP has been reviewed by administration and will be circulated to referral bodies having an interest in the plan, including but not limited to the Alberta Environment, ARC Resources, and the local school authorities, as well as numerous others. In addition to the adoption of the ASP, Area Structure Plan, the developer has made application to rezone the lands, the process for which will occur simultaneously with the ASP adoption process. In addition to the statutorily required public hearing, the developer will be hosting an informal open house to seek feedback, excuse me, to seek feedback from affected landowners regarding the proposed area structure plan. This open house is not required under the Municipal Government Act, but is to be undertaken at the request of administration. In order to proceed with adoption of the area structure plan, the town must proceed with first reading of a bylaw to adopt the plan. An open house is then to be held by the developer for adjacent landowners and interested parties. Following that step, a public hearing must then be scheduled and advertised in accordance with the Municipal Government Act prior to the area structure plan being presented to council for adoption via second and third reading. The recommendation is that the proposed area structure plan conforms to the municipal development plan and the town's vision for the land use planning. Administration supports the variance request for the decrease in lot depth for the northern duplex lots ranging from 27.43 meters to 32.92 meters, as buildings will be required to meet the setback requirements set out in the land zoning district. Therefore, administration recommends to give first reading to bylaw 2015-03D for the adoption of the Highland Park Lot 4, Plan 8521283, area structure plan, along with the variance requested for decrease of lot size, after which the developer is to host an open house prior to the public consultation process, which will begin simultaneously within this rezoning. Therefore, I move that council give first reading to bylaw 2015-03D for the adoption of the Highland Park area structure plan.
Thank you, Councillor Bossert. Any questions or comments besides Councillor Bossert? Well, we'll let you go first since you read all of that. So, Councillor Bossert.
Thank you. I think after this I'll be quiet, but I want to commend the developers for coming forward with such a complete package to put before council as far as their plans are concerned. Often we get plans presented that leave us with many questions and they have to be tabled and reevaluated. This one was very comprehensive, and I really appreciate your thoroughness in presenting this to council. Thank you.
Yeah, Councillor Frederickson.
Yes, I'm just requesting, Ms. Martin, if you would be able to give, just for public information, what would the adoption of first reading mean for this development in moving forward?
After first reading is given, it will allow the public consultation process to go forward, so then the developer can then hold the open house and explain to the adjacent landowners and anyone interested what exactly the intention of the subdivision is, to show their plan, how it's going to tie into the adjacent area, that sort of thing. From then on, we would go forward with the public hearing and then second and third reading.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? Councillor Nadeau?
Within the range of when you said affected landowners, given the area, it's not very many, is it? Just wondering if you had an estimate amount of people.
The radius is 500 meters, and when I had drafted up the number of landowners, it is 48, and that is also including those on the east side of the ring road.
Okay. All right, we have a motion before us. All in favor? Opposed? You were in favor? I take it? Okay, thank you. That is carried. we will move on to 7.7, rezoning bylaw number 2015-04D, presented for first reading of Lot 4, Plan 852-1283. Councillor Frederickson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The town has received application to rezone a portion of the lands legally described as Lot 4, Plan 852-1283 from the existing Brazeau County Ag or AG-B Agricultural District to Town of Drayton Valley R1A Low Density Residential, R2 General Residential District, and IPU Institutional and Public Use District. Such rezoning would allow the land to be subdivided and developed in accordance with the Highland Park Area Structure Plan, which was presented to Council for first reading earlier today. The proposed rezoning also conforms to the Municipal Development Plan. Rezoning bylaw 2015/04/D is hereby presented to Council for first reading. If first reading is given, the developers will be required to host an open house to present their proposal to adjacent landowners and receive comments back. Following the open house, advertising of the public hearing before council, as required under the Municipal Government Act, will take place. As part of the referral process, adjacent landowners within a 500-meter radius of the rezoning area will be provided notice of the rezoning application and will be given the opportunity to provide their comments. Therefore, I move that Council recommends to give first reading to bylaw 2015-04/D for the rezoning of a portion of Lot 4, Plan 852-1283.
Thank you. Any comments, questions? We have a motion on the floor. All in favor? Carried. Item 7.8, subdivision application DV 1414 within Lot 10, Plan 0121315. Councillor Nadeau.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Administration has received the following report from West Central Planning Agency regarding an application for a commercial subdivision for the lands located at 2451 50th Street. This item was originally taken to the February 18, 2015 regular meeting of council, where it was tabled to, that sentence doesn't make sense, for further information regarding the reserves as required. West Central Planning Agency received an application on January 9, 2014 to create 2 new lots on a parcel of land designated as General Commercial District. The proposed Lot 12 will be 2.4 acres in size, and the proposed Lot 13 will be 1.8 acres in size. The intent of the application is to make a provision for an RV shop and additional retail. In January 2015, West Central Planning Agency conducted a site visit to the subject area. The site analysis revealed that 26th Avenue was not fully built to town standards, and a portion of it is gated. In order to ensure public access, the applicant will be responsible for the extension and improvements of 26th Avenue. This condition will allow proper access to both proposed lots. The subdivision proposal was circulated as part of the planning process. However, no major concerns or objections arose from utility companies or adjacent landowners. These lands had no deferred reserve caveat on land titles. As a result, West Central Planning Agency believes this subdivision applicant is exempt from an MR lot dedication as it was likely paid out in full in previous subdivision application. After further investigation by town staff, it was revealed that reserves were previously dedicated to Lot R, Plan 762-449. Therefore, no reserves are owing in the current proposal. West Central Planning Agency supports the subdivision proposal contingent on completing the conditions set out of the proposed approval letter. West Central Planning Agency supports the subdivision proposal contingent on completing the conditions as noted below. Recommendation is that administration recommends approving the subdivision application DV 1414 subject to the conditions as noted. Therefore, I move that council approve subdivision application DV 1414 subject to the attached conditions provided.
Thank you. Any comments, questions? Actually, I have one. On the map, it does not indicate which is Lot R.
It is actually on the very south end of that quarter section. It is right beside, or behind, I guess, the Scotty's Esso. There's a parcel of land there that belongs to the town, and that's originally was taken out when the lands were subdivided, when it belonged to Parkland County.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So we have a motion on the floor. All in favor? And that is carried. Item 7.9, extension of subdivision of DV 1313, Murrah Estates Phase 6, within Southeast 949-7, west of the 5th. Councillor Long.
Thank you. On March 12th, on the March 12th, 2014 council meeting, we approved the subdivision of 35 residential lots within Phase 6 of Murrah Estates, located within Southeast 949-7, west of the 5th. Said approval is set to expire on March 12, 2015, and consequently the applicants are seeking an extension for an additional year. Getting excited here. The applicant is still working to meet all conditions, including registration. Therefore, the applicants are requesting a one-year extension until March 12, 2016, in order to complete the conditions and register the subdivision. In order for the extension to proceed, council must approve the request. The extension of subdivision file DV 1313 is hereby presented to council for decision. Therefore, I move that, since the subdivision conforms to the MDP and the Murrah Estates Area Structure Plan, administration will be working with the developers regarding parking during development phase. Administration is recommending approval. Therefore, I move that council approves the extension of subdivision application DV 1313, a one-year extension to March 12, 2016.
Thank you, Councillor Long. Any questions? Councillor Bossert?
Thank you. We've recently had discussions with the developer for the lands southeast of this phase, and there was talk of a roadway from this phase that is applying for an extension, that roadway would connect to the new development, which is Highlands. I'm wondering how this delay or this extension might interfere with the development of that roadway, as I feel that connecting roadway is very vital for the movement of traffic in that area. And if this development is delayed a year, then that road would also be delayed a year. So just wondering if there's anything you can tell us about the delay of the roadways.
With the extension, they're just requesting the year so that they can just finalize everything. They're on the brink of finishing up their development agreement and having everything registered shortly here. So delaying the roadway, I don't see it being an issue at this point. However, 40th Street, more south connecting into Highland, is not part of their phase coming up. They were anticipating it for a year, so I know Highland was going to be speaking with these developers here and coming up with some sort of an idea of when this roadway will be able to be accessible.
Great. Anyone else? Okay, we have a motion on the floor. All those in favor? And carried. Thank you. Item 7.10, Community Event Grant 2015 National Archery in the Schools Program. Councillor Wheeler.
Thank you. The attached application has been received from the Brazeau Bowbenders Archery Club under the Community Event Grant, and the Bowbenders are requesting grant funding from the town to support the 2015 National Archery in the School Program Provincials, which the local club will be hosting from April 23rd through April 26th at the Omniplex. It's estimated that 1,200 students, with approximately 400 of those students being from Drayton Valley area, will be participating. The grant request for this event is to cover the cost of facility rental, $4,300, insurance, $500, and advertising on the town's electronic sign, $500, for a total of $5,300. The total community event grant fund is $10,000 for the 2015 calendar year. To date, approximately $800 has been granted. So any combination of those is up. Therefore, I move that we award the community event grant of $4,300 to the Brazeau Bowbenders Archery Club for the 2015 National Archery in the School program.
Thank you. Any comments or questions? Councillor Long?
Yeah, I'm absolutely happy to support this. However, I do have a concern that we have a fairly limited budget, which is $10,000, I believe. This is a significant chunk of it to be spending so relatively early in the year. I'm not sure who to ask you, Manny or Annette. Do we have expectations of what else? This is a hard question, isn't it? What else came last year? I remember the men's and women's slow pitch came at one point. But can anybody else fill me in and give me some pointers? Are we likely to run out of money in May if we award this now?
Thank you. I guess it's one of those things where you really do not know what will come in the course of the year. We've had other events, yes. I know there was a provincial cross-country running event that took place that we provided some funding to. So we had, of course, some applications underneath the Roger Coles Memorial Sport Grant. But yeah, it does mean that out of the allocation, we're looking at a good portion of this if the resolution is approved. And early in the year, too, considering that there are still other events that could come through. That's the best I can answer, Councillor Long, with respect to do we anticipate, because even though some of the same events may be hosted again, whether they apply again is not necessarily the case.
Okay, Councillor.
Can I just follow up there, because, sorry, on the point you made, I wouldn't want anybody to become reliant on this grant going forward. I think that's the intention of this, for an annual event to always be coming back and expecting to get their 2,000 or whatever. So I think we touched on that, but just like to get that out there also.
Okay. Councillor Frederickson?
I echo the same concerns as Councillor Long in the sense that it is early in the year. I do recognize that this event is a large event of its type, and it's the first of its type. It is estimated that 1,200 students will be coming to Drayton Valley. However, similar to Councillor Long, I do feel it's early in the year to be granting almost half of our dollars to one particular event. Actually, on another note, sorry, have we granted anything at all yet this year?
800. Any other comments? Councillor Nadeau?
I think it's all, this side is all of agreement on this side of the bench. I definitely want to support them. And I know that is the motion made, so I don't know where we go from there. I want to support them with financial contribution. I'm not inclined for the entire request, however, at this time. So
You can make a friendly amendment if you like.
I'd be willing to make a friendly amendment. Yeah, we're kind of varying on where we go from here, though, and you'd like two? Well, they're thinking two. So, I don't.
Is that what you're requesting from Councillor Wheeler, that a friendly amendment that
my
would
request
reduce the amount
is I would like to see a friendly amendment to a reduction of that.
to a
I
dollar
would
figure?
I would be okay. I would be comfortable with 2,500. 2,500.
Councillor
Is it
Wheeler,
friendly
would you
amendment?
accept a friendly amendment?
I can. I think that last year, we didn't spend all of our $10,000. We had money left. So I know that it's first come, first serve, and chances are these are provincials, and typically the same town doesn't host provincials again. So it shouldn't be the same organizations coming forward when we're looking at some of these random events. And I understand not wanting to give out all of the money, but I also think that we have 400 kids from Drayton Valley participating in this. There's not very many other events where I think we get that many in the same sport participating, and especially from our school programs, because they really are open to all the kids, that I would that I still think that I'm comfortable with supporting for they're looking for the cost of the facility to be covered, so.
Councillor Long first.
Just a query there, and I'm not sure if Councillor Weir can answer this, and she's more familiar with this than I am. 400 kids from Drayton Valley or 400 kids from Brazeau County, or 400 kids combined?
Combined.
So 400 local kids?
Yes.
200 kids from Drayton Valley?
Councillor Frederickson.
I know right now we're talking about the facility rental cost, but I also want to make note that I did talk to town administration about the town's electronic sign, and to my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, if an organization hasn't used it before, it is free, and to my understanding at this point, nonprofits do get either a beneficial rate or a reduced rate, or we've been very generous with nonprofits. So I just wanted to make a note of that, just because that it has been included in that total 5,300 that they're proposing.
But the original amount was 4,300, not the 53, so that 500 was already removed from that. Okay. Councillor Nadeau?
I guess my question is to rely on one funding source is my concern. And that we do have the Hotel Association that has been very clear about wanting to participate in event-focused for our community. I don't know if, I didn't see that it had been approached in this. Maybe I missed that. So that's my concern, is there's a sole reliance on one municipality here to fund it. And I'm all for kids, don't get me wrong. I want to see an event and support an event. My only concern is using 50% of the budget only 3 months in to a calendar year. And this is just an event that people are starting to be aware of that we have. So I feel more and more likelihood that we're going to get more and more, especially having a communications and marketing coordinator now, of getting and promotion of these grants that we have available to us.
Okay. Again.
In terms of the, sorry,
Go ahead.
in terms of the request to the Hotel Association, they have made it, and I think a grant has been given. I'm not sure about the amount.
Okay. Once again, we go back. Are you willing to amend your motion, or are we leaving it at the 4,300? So you'll accept the friendly amendment then?
Yeah.
For the amount of 2,500?
Yes.
Okay. So we have a friendly amendment for the amount of 2,500. So all in favor of the amended motion? Those opposed? Please note we have Councillor Frederickson and Councillor Wheeler opposed. That motion is carried. Thank you. Before we move on to our in-camera, I am going to call a short break. I would welcome anyone from the public, if you'd like to join us for a coffee in the back, you're more than welcome. After the break, we will go into our in-camera session. If you wish to stick around afterwards, what will follow that is basically adoption of our information items, the department reports and council reports. That's remaining items on our agenda. So I will call a short break at this time, and please, you're welcome to come back and join us for a coffee. Welcome back, everyone. We'll bring the meeting back in order here. We'll move to item 7.4. Councillor Long.
Thank you. I'm going to move that we go in camera at 7:29 p.m.
Thank you. All in favor? Carried.
Okay, I'm going to start by making a motion that we come out of in camera at 8:02.
All in favor? Carried?
Then I'm going to make a motion that we approve the memorandum of understanding. Do we name the company, or will we just say the memorandum of understanding as discussed in camera?
So we have a motion, all in favor? Carried?
And then I'm going to keep talking because I'm having fun, and make a motion that we approve submitting a joint application to the Building Canada Small Communities Fund for the sanitary sewer trunk line along with Brazeau County.
All in favor? Carried.
And I'm going to stop.
And I guess I'll turn that back on so now you can hear me. We'll move on to information items. We have item 8.1, the Winter City Shake-Up 2015 Councilor Reports. We'll come back. I'm just going to list them all off first, okay? The 8.2 FCM Sustainability Conference Council Report. 8.3 Child Care Operational Board October 2014 Minutes. The 8.4 PEMNA Physician Recruitment and Retention Committee October and November 2014 and January 2015 Minutes. The RCMP Policing Report for December 2014. Brazeau Seniors Foundation Board of Directors December 2014 Minutes. Letters to Brazeau County regarding School Bus Hub, Policing and ECDC. 8.8 Waste Management Committee January 2015 Minutes. And 8.9 Drayton Valley and District Chamber of Commerce February 2015 Minutes. And I'll open it up to the floor for comments. Councillor Nadeau.
Just as per our last council meeting, I said that there was a video, and it's included in the council report, so there are two. The second one, there is a test.
There is a test.
There is a test. It's kind of like a Where's Waldo thing. But the first one is For the Love of Winter, and I'd like to show it, if I may.
You may.
Are we voting? Or?
No.
Which light?
Everyone has that foundational memory of growing outside and playing with the snow, whether it's building a fort or it's going tobogganing. And somewhere along the way, we kind of lose that.
There's a really big opportunity with winter here in Edmonton. The question is, what do we do to enhance it, to make the experience better?
I think what we've seen in the last few years is an expanding interest in winter, a recognition that it's something that makes us unique, and it's sort of a blank canvas in a lot of ways, so everyone has the opportunity to come and paint on.
Winter contributes to our economy, our spirit, our culture.
My favorite part about winter is when Christmas comes.
I love the crisp blue skies. I love the vistas that winter provides.
It's a season of stories. It's a season of family and friends coming together.
I enjoy winter in Edmonton because when you see families out on the rinks, when you see kids out with their friends, it really reminds you of what the Edmonton community is about.
Well, I think our climate makes people here really resilient, and I think actually it's a really good kind of character-building exercise. It's just part of the essence of who we are.
My big idea for winter is simply just changing our attitude, changing the stories, and relive the magic of winter as children again.
It's for us to start to create winter as a celebration.
We get out and see the dark skies and see illuminations and see the art.
It's all about action. It's all about involvement. It's It's all about not just staying in your house.
One word that would describe it.
Togetherness.
Coziness?
Arduous.
Crispy.
Magical. Beautiful.
I think Go Play Outside really says it all.
We have the opportunity to be the winter city in North America.
Where we're going to get to is a great northern city, and a great winter city is going to take, it might take a generation, maybe 2 generations. So it's about planting the seeds today in terms of the attitudes and aptitudes to get there.
Makes you feel better about thinking, it's just one word, but then this one's like 5 minutes long, so.
But the screen they had at the conference was unreal. I don't know, how big would you say it was? I can't even.
It was the entire size of the conference room, like the width.
Yeah, it would be, the screen was probably twice as big as this room if you go around. It was in a circle, and it was like a semicircle, and it was huge.
Yes, so again, the test, did anybody pass the test?
I did.
There was proof that Councillor Wheeler and I were there because we were in the background of that. That wasn't me filming, that was another person, so, we were there. But essentially, the message behind those is just rethinking our community and as all season long, or all year long, and how we adapt as Canadians, and viewing winter as an asset in our community and how we can build upon for tourism and economic development and being creative and have that community and resiliency building. And that's all, we can do that all year round. We tend to just do that in the summertime, but that's essentially what the report is. And that's what, the video summarized it much better than probably my 16-page report could, so there you go.
Excellent, thank you. Anyone else? Does anyone have any comments on the 8.7 letters to Brazeau County regarding the school bus hub, policing, and ECDC? Councillor Wheeler?
Yeah, I think I'm excited to see that we're hopefully moving forward with the county and working on the school bus hub. It came up at our joint council meeting, and just that we're doing it for the betterment of all the kids in town, the kids out of town, and everybody working together. So I hope that it goes through. Everything comes fast this year so we can have it this September.
Councillor Wheeler? Sorry, Councillor Frederickson? Just finished one.
I just wanted to echo that and just say that In these 3 letters, basically, we're summing up the community as a whole. We, right now with RCMPing, our RCMPs do service some of the areas outside of our Town of Drayton Valley region, as well as the school bus hub, which also services kids and families outside of our geographic region, as well as the ECDC center. So I'd like to just say that they do echo that that offer to come on board with us in providing these wonderful services to our community.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's a real opportunity for the county to support their citizens. As when we look at all 3 of those, but especially when we talk about the bus hub, where what is it, 1,200? 1,300. 1,301 actually. Of the students are from the county, and really the town really doesn't need a bus hub. We have 1 bus full of children. The rest are county residents, so I think gives an opportunity for the county to step forward and support their residents, and making life potentially easier for their children, when they come into town. And even with the ECDC, the number of children from the county that that use the services of ECDC really shows that this is a whole community. It's not just the residents of Drayton Valley. And again, it gives the county an opportunity to step forward to support their residents. Can I get a motion to accept these information items? Councillor Long, all in favor? Thank you. We'll move on to department reports, planning and development. Ms. Martin?
Thank you. So for the last 3 weeks, I just want to touch up on what has been going on in planning and development. We have approved 11 development permits. There was a 4-plex, a single-family dwelling. With those being approved, brings our housing starts up to 4 for the year, because those are the 2 residential ones that we have approved. There was 3 signage permits issued, 2 decks, basement development. There was a removal and a replacement of a mobile home in Pleasant View. Extra Foods is going to be doing some minor renovations, some painting, just kind of a facelift on it. And Walmart is doing an expansion. They're doing a 5,000 square foot expansion on the west side. It's not going to be a super center, as the whole west side is actually more so belonging to somebody else. So there's only a 5,000 square foot expansion, which will have the produce and the meat and a bakery. 7 business licenses were issued. They were mostly just transfer of locations, change of name, that sort of thing. And then on March 24th, the town is hosting a meeting with Corvus to discuss the new off-site levy rates. The meeting will be from 6:30 to 8:30 here at the town office, and we are encouraging residents who are interested to attend and learn about the new off-site levy rates for new developments. That's pretty much it.
Excellent. Any questions?
March 24th.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions for Jen? Thank you. We'll move on to engineering and transport. No, we won't. We'll move on to community services, FCSS, and sustainability. Annette?
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Quite a few things, but certainly one of the things that I'm excited about, of course, is doing interviews for some of the positions that we so desperately need. So it's making me very happy. Yeah, the interviews are going along very well, and hopefully within the next week to 2 weeks, we'll have an answer and be able to address the individuals coming in to fill the positions of program manager, recreation and culture manager, and then the programming coordinator, one of our existing positions. Of course, with the responsibilities falling into community services for the Almaplex and the pool, just getting up to speed again on the happenings within the Almaplex. Met with DV Thunder following a meeting that we had with DV Thunder, had a good meeting. And we'll be meeting with them again in about a week and a half time to continue on with the plan moving forward. Curling Club, looking at the agreements and working with Curling Club will be one of the next priorities, as well as with the agricultural group. So making a connection with them again to work out some details. Dare I bring up Eleanor Pickup Art Center renovations, but we'll be following through with what happens with that project. And working with the society on what happens with that project. The Housing Authority had a meeting just yesterday, and Housing Authority, the Housing Committee, the Joint Housing Committee had a meeting, and some steps are definitely in place so that we can start to take a look at issues around the development of expanding our role in terms of housing. So looking at bringing in a facilitator role from Municipal Affairs to assist with that, but it's going in the right direction, and that's really positive for us. The Recreation Cost Sharing Agreement was approved. Now it's just a matter of enacting everything underneath there. Of course, continuing on with the community public space designs and looking at doing the next step in terms of the next process for the grounds at HW Pickup with respect to the next stage of plans that allow us to look at some further development. Outdoor rink we talked about, and an application is going forward for the net zero facility design on the aquatic facility, and the Community Foundation has agreed to make that application to the Community Initiative Program, so strong support for that as well. I'll end it there.
Thank you. Any questions? Ms. Reeson? None? Thank you very much. Protective Services. Mr. Thompson.
Just a brief report, Deputy Mayor. We had the Emergency Services Ball a few weeks ago. It turned into be a very successful event. We had our Member of Parliament attend as well as our MLA. Both of them enjoyed themselves immensely, which was a good opportunity for the Mayor and myself to talk some business with them. So it was a very productive meeting and an event.
Any questions? We'll move on then to Administration, Legislative Services. Chandra Dyke? Nothing at this time. Thank you. Economic Development, Sherry Poole? Please.
Well, thank you, everyone, Deputy Mayor, to Council and the administration in that order.
It's not on. Now it's on.
Okay, thanks. Okay, good. Okay. Well, hey. Deputy Mayor to Council as well as administration, I'm happy to be able to report that I'm getting involved in the role, aggressively seeking information, analytics, so I can develop a measurement matrix on the side of economic development, determining capacities in the area of hotel stays, statistics, updating that information, and making sure that it's flowing through to our communications department. And that said, I can happily again report that the Economic Committee did have their first meeting last week. Thank you to Councillor Nadeau as well as Long, and we officially have a chair, and that is Councillor Nadeau, and I'm sorry, I'm saying that right? Okay. I want to say Nadeau on, but I know that's not correct. So anyway, it was about 2.5 hours long. We covered a lot of area and setting the groundwork for planning recommendations and getting the terms of reference underway. So that said, in the background, yes, there's a lot of analytics collection I'm going about getting, so I can report some reliable information, and I'm happy to be on board, and I think we're good. I'll have more to report in the next one.
Excellent. Welcome. Thanks. This is your first presentation to council, so thank you very much. Does anyone have any questions? Ms. Wu? No? Thank you very much. We will move on then to communications and marketing. Jill Bueller?
Good evening, Council and Deputy Mayor. Thank you very much for having me. So on our app, we're examining our phase 2. We're currently sitting at about 600 downloads, which is good. Not where my goal is, which is around 3,000. So we're currently involved in a promotional contest that we're working with the Big West Country. I was trying to say that name 10 times fast. So I was going to say Tyler, but that's just my contact. So currently there's a contest. You find the code word within the app, which encourages them to look at the app, find out how to use it, and it also really lets them say, oh, look at all the different things that are available on the app. So really, not only do they download the app, but they also get to navigate through it and see the value that's provided through the app. We are also on our website getting a lot of positive feedback. Last night I was at the grant writing workshop that was put on by FCSS, which is a fantastic event, and got lots of feedback from a lot of the nonprofit organizations there saying they love our new website, they're finding it much easier to navigate, they really enjoy the fact that they can put events on, so it's one other way that they can market their events, so the nonprofits within the community are really finding that very helpful, which is one of the things we really wanted to see and one of the results we were aiming for. And our social media is also going really well lately. We've gotten under Council's direction to add lost and found animals to the Drayton Valley website, so that's being published through social media and that's being very well received by the public. So just another way to make things more efficient and more effective for the community, and it's going really well. And not exactly communications per se, but as engineering and transportation isn't here today, I just wanted to let council know that there's going to be a weight restriction on Township Road 490 of 50% starting on Friday, and that's just because of the seasonal thaw. It will be lifted once those start to work out, but that's one of the other things that we're letting the community know. I thought the council should be aware as well. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Any questions? We'll go with Council Frederickson first. She was quicker with her hand up.
Not so much a question, just a comment. There was a discussion that was happening on Facebook probably about a week ago with regards to questions that are happening with meetings with the town, and I was pleased to see that some of the comments that came up that said, hey, I had a push notification about this on the app. So it is kind of turning that culture around where there is people are aware of what's going on in the community, which is good.
Yeah, we're very excited to see that.
Councilor Nadeau?
That's right. So I don't know if you're aware, but the person that you were teamed with was actually my sister-in-law last night. There you go.
I knew from the name.
There you go. But we were talking, and she wanted to just express that you made a very good impression and that you were very professional and that she was impressed with your enthusiasm. And she did express a lot about, and I've heard this elsewhere about the website, and I did credit yourself and Jennifer with the work on that because I know you both worked as a team on that. So, so it's very efficient website. It's a lot smoother, and I appreciate the work that's gone in it, and we are obviously getting those positive feedbacks. So, in all realms of discussion. So it's a good thing. So thank you both for your work on it.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. Information Services, Mr. Nadeau.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Just two things. Information Services currently engaged in is with the Clean Energy and Technology Center, planning the information and network services there, as well as the water plant, which is coming on stream this summer. That's my report.
Anyone have any questions? No? We'll move on to the CAO report. Manny Diogo.
Your Worship, very busy last little while. One good news is after years of search, we think we have a very good candidate for Director of Engineering and Development. But we did finish talking to him today at 3 o'clock. We interviewed him yesterday. But the negotiations for the financial and beneficial package is still underway. We'll know by Monday, and hopefully it works out. And we'll make sure we'll try our best to make this work. And I think that'd be a great load off our administration shoulders because there's lots of work in engineering and it's being carried out with other jobs, so I think it'd be very good. So with that, I move on to the other stuff. Norquest agreement is just about ready for council's consideration in a very short time. We have done over the last 8 months negotiating with them, and I really admire how the president of Norquest has brought all their senior executive team together to work with the town of Drayton Valley in making this Norquest a significant, meaningful center in Drayton Valley, which we all talked about how we want their presence to be known, and I think they have worked very well to bring that result for us. And we are just in the final stages of signing or bringing to council's consideration the joint venture agreement. And once that will be done, and if council approves, we'll move forward with that. Weyerhaeuser, University of Alberta and Town of Drayton Valley are working on a fiber characterization R&D project, which Weyerhaeuser is excited about it, and we are in the initial stages of that endeavor. And I think with that, we are talking about the biomass utilization, which is access there, and it looks like we are in the first stages of working on that. I'm very hopeful that that will work through. Alberta Innovates was here last week to look at the progress of CETC, because CETC is the advance payments on the basis of seeing the progress. And at the same time, we keep the communication open if there is any extra funding available. We would talk to our MLA, and because we want to finish the building, we tell them that when they gave us, somehow they knew that we will be coming back for some, because it's a big project. I think it has been brought up to their attention, and they are cooperating. I wouldn't say that we'll get the money yet, but we are on that program. And last 2 weeks, last week, actually 2 weeks ago, the Minister Mandel was here, and council knows that we made it. He said, get me the proposal by Friday for telehealth, and TELUS was very cooperative and worked very hard that over a couple of days the whole proposal was done. I don't know whether did I give council a copy of that? Okay, I think we'll forward you the copy of the proposal we submitted to the minister, and I think that will help solve a lot of our issues if it's successful. And we have asked the minister to give us $700,000 a year over 3 years to work this, to maneuver this paradigm shift and maneuver the change from where we are going into telehealth. And working again with our minister and MLA, we're looking for a very quick meeting with the minister, hopefully before the budget and election call, to see what we can move forward with the project. And as you see, the CETC had a lot of players in this, and you saw some of them playing, and see how it's all coordinated together. And I think I'm very happy the way the whole team is working, administration as well as the outside consultants, to bring everything together. So the team, there's a rhythm to the whole process, that it's not disjointed the way it's going. And again, I think council will be happy with that. Working on the budget finalization, as you was supposed to be today, but so it will be coming to you on 23rd. And there's a couple of adjustments, but again, it will be up to council to look at that. Working on some legal agreements regarding land acquisition, and that's a long process. It takes time, but we are making headways in land acquisition projects. And Wasteway, we have, as you know, that there is some possibilities, some options to move ahead with the project, or a couple of options. And one is, of course, utilizing producing energy. The second will be options to do some more demonstration into the area of working to ensure that these pallets can be used for some other areas. So we have a couple of options, but we asked for extension for our project from the CCEMC, where we have that grant. And lastly, Ishwara, we are moving to the second stage into the business plan. At this time, it will go into the legal councils to see how our joint venture will work with Ishwara. And again, in the days to come, you will get more information. So this is a quick snap over the last 3 weeks. That's all my report, Your Worship.
Thank you. Anyone have any questions? It's a lot of work that's been done in excuse me, in the last few weeks. So good job, and hopefully we'll see some of these come to fruition here shortly, and be very beneficial for the town when they do. We'll now move on to council reports. Councillor Wheeler. Oh, turn off your mic.
Thank you. These last couple of weeks have been, I think, pretty busy for council too. We've had lots of workshops and things going on, between law seminars and off-site levy workshops and planning development workshops and housing workshops and Aboriginal training. It's been a full schedule. I think the only thing I really want to report on for the future is on the 18th. There's a Celebrate Water going on in the provincial building, put on by Parks and Rec, and they are going to have water tables and See and Shake water bottles set up for the kids, and have a water testing site and stuff. So it's a family event from 4 till 7 on the 18th. If anyone wants to come out and learn about water and something to do. That's it.
Thank you. Councillor Bossert.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As Councillor Wheeler and Mr. Deal mentioned, it's been a very busy last few weeks. Since our last council meeting, going back that far, we've had the visit from the Minister of Health, Mr. Mandel, and it was a very good meeting, as Mr. Deal mentioned. It appeared to me, as somebody that's been involved with physician recruitment, that the minister was very keen to hear the concerns of the community and look outside the box for solutions, and perhaps that solution here in our community is telehealth. So very much looking forward to the minister's comments and recommendations from the submission that we put in a week ago or a week and a half ago. I have also attended a housing governance model workshop. Had a homelessness and poverty reduction strategy meeting. At that meeting, it was discussed that there was perhaps the necessity for the program to obtain a a different type of permit for occupants into the United Church, and I'm happy to say that we are able to go ahead without any permitting at this time unless our occupancy reaches a certain number on a consistent level. So we're moving ahead, and hopefully we'll be able to provide at least one night a week of emergency shelter in the not too distant future for our community. Had planning and development workshop, which was very good. I find that information helps us when we are making decisions about planning and developing our community. It's not a easy thing, and sometimes that extra bit of information helps us make more sense of what we're doing on a more regular basis. On the 5th of March, we had a joint council meeting, and we also had our staff service awards evening, and I just wanted to commend the many staff members that received 5-year, 10-year, 15-year, and I believe we had a 20-year staff award, and that speaks to me of the commitment of our staff in the community, and I really appreciate that. So I was glad to be part of celebrating those very committed employees here at the town. And just yesterday we had a very productive waste management meeting, and we welcomed a fellow named Charles, a new manager for the, sorry, 1 minute. Nope, don't have it. A new manager for the Evergreen has come on board and seems to be right on top of the issues that have come to the surface for the community. So we're hopeful that with him as the manager that our garbage pickup will go smoothly, and that we can look at other options for blue pickup and perhaps even going into organic pickup in the future. So that's something that committee is working on. And just moving forward, the FCSS continues to put on the Making Financial Sense program. It's been going on now for several Thursdays. I believe that Councillor Nadeau got to present last Thursday. I get to present on the 19th. And it's, again, a really excellent way for engagement with the community about their financial health. And healthy residents, financially healthy residents, contributes to a financially healthy community. So I see it as an integral program in our community. And that's my report.
Thank you, Councillor Bossert. Councillor Frederickson.
You took everything. I'm just joking. Yes, to echo what Councillor Bossert had said, we had an excellent waste management meeting where we got to meet and talk to MCL and Evergreen and voice the concerns and talk about solutions, so that was wonderful. Just today I had a meeting, regional Norquest meeting in Devon, and Norquest, I believe her name is Karen from Norquest, they sound very excited about the prospect of going to the CETC in, it would be January of 2016, I suspect. It also allowed us to talk to some of our education providers, or allowed me some opportunity to talk to some of our education providers in the community, including our adult learning group, as well as representatives from Wildrose School Division. And it gave us the opportunity to get together in the future, or plan to get together in the future to see any gaps in services and where we want to see adult education and post-secondary go in our community. Staff Service Awards, I had the honor of emceeing the Staff Service Awards, and it was a wonderful event. I have to say, Fire Chief Tom Thompson had me in stitches and in tears with his introduction to his staff. So it was wonderful to get a glimpse of the camaraderie between staff members and their directors with the town, and it was a great honor to be able to MC those events. And so that's all I want to report on at this time.
Thank you. Councillor Nadeau.
You're just worried I'm going to talk a lot. I will keep it brief. I have been part of the workshops and all the ongoing meetings. We've already discussed the outdoor rink, and it's moving forward with their request for funding. They did request funding from Brazeau County, and I believe it was turned down. And they will be revisiting it in May once they get further information about our overall park redesign for that area. They're requesting additional information at this time. So it is my hope that they will listen to their constituents and understanding that that is a project worthy of their commitment. So that's for that one. I've also attended Eleanor Pickup Theater Management meeting on the 26th of February, and again, ongoing discussions with the county on those agreements. So there's nothing really at this time that I can discuss on that. So again, just hopefully everybody moves forward and continuing to put their community at their heart. How about that? I also attended, or we had our first, as noted, Communities in Bloom, and I had asked that council participate in Flash Mob, and so I'm still requesting that, and I'm going to get Tom involved too. Because you know the fire department in a flash mob is just always a good idea. Yes. So Communities in Bloom, as for the article in the paper, I don't know if you had a chance to read that, but we are not participating national level. There will be no judging coming to our community this year. But we are still ongoing with some of the projects that we're going to partner with the Legion Restoration Project, Aurora School Garden Outdoor Learning Project, as well as Evergreen in their enhancement of their trail system, and some other projects that are kind of on the go as well. But those are the kind of lead projects, and we will be doing on August 27th, we will be having another indoor-outdoor event, and we are featuring Footloose, hence the flash mob. And we are going to have the line dancing group come out and teach everybody how to do a line dance from Footloose. And we are requesting sponsorship for that. It's going to be a fun event, and of course it will be a free event as usual. So it'll be a really fun evening, and it'll be a Thursday night, so there's no excuse not to come. Blacklist, no. So we're looking forward to that. I've also had the opportunity, we had our first meeting yesterday for economic development, and I really enjoyed it. I think I would hope that Councillor Long and we can probably on the same page that we were very excited at the end of that meeting about moving forward with some of the recommendations that Sherry was talking about and what'll work for small businesses and where we're moving forward in the community. So there are a lot of great discussions. Everything went from tourism to small business to boasting about how great our community is and starting to be that boastful community. So those are all good things, and it was a great meeting. So I'm looking forward to ongoing, and I'm sure you guys will be looking forward to the terms of reference. And we'll continue that process. So I will cut it short at that, but continue to be hopeful for community investment. How about that?
Thank you. Councillor Long.
I admire your optimism, as always, Councillor Adam. I will be brief. I will try and be brief and just run through some things very quickly. And most of the things I attended has already been mentioned by other folks. I went to see Stephen Mandel, the Health Minister. On the 24th, we had a CETC meeting, which Mr. Deal's already mentioned. The 25th, I don't think anyone's touched on this, but we had a meeting with an energy company for whom we just agreed to sign that MOU. I think that's interesting. I think that's promising. I look forward to seeing what comes out of that. I did attend the housing governance meeting at the county office, which is, I'll listen to their lawyer talk all day long. She's very, very good. That may be an odd thing to say. The joint council on the 5th, always entertaining. The service awards in the evening, and congratulations to my buddy Brandy for doing a great job emceeing that, I thought. I went to the Rotary Gala on the 7th. I can't wait till next year when somebody else goes. And a kilt, yes. People had a lot of fun, and I was happy to be there and help them have fun. Had the Yellowhead Regional Library, was that just yesterday? It seems like a lifetime ago. And it wasn't yesterday, it was the day before yesterday, because yesterday I had the economic development meeting, which I am excited, and welcome Sherry again. Look forward to getting some stuff going. It's exciting. And I'm done.
Thank you. I will keep mine fairly short here. Going back on the 21st with the Minister of Health, that was very encouraging, that the minister would come forward, and it was interesting going on the tour of the hospital with him. He was actually quite impressed with our facilities and what we have and the potential future capabilities that he had some ideas for. So I'm curious to see if those will come forward in the future as well. As Mr. Deal pointed out, the work that was done between the town and TELUS to put forward a proposal to the minister went along very smoothly. I was impressed that able to pull it off in a short amount of time and still get feedback from the physicians and the hospital and the primary care network to help put this all together. So again, hoping that the minister comes forward shortly with an answer to our proposal. On the 24th, as mentioned, Clean Energy and Technology Center. I'm not going to touch any more on that. We've talked about a lot of that today. Actually, Councillor Long, I show the presentation on the 26th, not the 25th, but I'm very encouraged by that, and I'm glad we signed the MOU and can move forward. Also on the 26th, I attended Brazeau Seniors Foundation meeting. Something that no one touched on was February 27th to March 1st, our council retreat. And I'm glad that you all remember it. I thought it was a good meeting. I thought we got a lot accomplished. I thought it was done very well, other than being in one room for 3 days was a little much, but we'll work on that so it doesn't happen again. Of course, February 2nd, the Joint Housing Committee meeting. Sorry, March 2nd, not February, March 2nd. As Councillor Long pointed out, it was very interesting and educational. Yes, it was. You're right. You could listen to the county lawyer for a long time, so maybe that's why she's a county lawyer. On the 5th, of course, we had our joint council meeting, and that was interesting. I don't think I want to go any further than to say it was interesting. It was informative. Also on the 5th, the service awards. I also want to thank Randy for hosting those awards. You did a fantastic job. And I do also want to commend the staff that received awards for your dedication to this community. Some of the staff have been around for a long time. There's a lot of people that from the staff that also have been here for many years, maybe did not get an award because we only give those on the highlighted anniversary, certain anniversaries, but I think all of our staff do a wonderful job in keeping this community moving forward. And I do want to commend you all for the hard work and dedication that you do. The other one that wasn't touched on was a meeting this morning for the Clean Energy and Technology Center. We had a presentation on identity for the CETC, as well as the interior design presentation. And I have to say I was very impressed with what was presented. I think the identity part is is something that's going to be noticed once we get it out there, because I think it is a little bit unique, and it's very innovative. Fits in very well with the Clean Energy and Technology Center, and you know what we're trying to achieve there. So I'm looking forward to having some of that finalized and rolled out. And for the interior design, I think everyone was very impressed with the way the Clean Energy and Technology Center is going to look, the color scheme and the layout is going to be very exciting. I look forward to the opening so that the community can partake and enjoy and utilize a world-class facility, because that's what it's going to be when it's done. I also want to thank the mayor for choosing not to be here tonight and giving me the opportunity to host this historic event. And I'm sorry? Yeah, for our evening meeting on March 11th. So other than that, I will wrap up, and I will ask for a motion to adjourn. And Councillor Long couldn't get his hand up fast enough, so we're adjourned.
Can we see your movie again, Nicole?
That's what I'm thinking.